This is the fourth video of your lesson 1, A Triumph of Surgery, from your supplementary reader Footprints Without Feet. All the while, Mrs. Pumphrey hovered anxiously in the background, ringing a dozen times a day for the latest bulletins. She kept on calling every now and then to ask about the progress of her dog. I dodged the questions about whether his cushions were being turned regularly or his correct coat worn according to the weather, but I was able to tell her that the little fellow was out of danger and convulsing rapidly. The dog was getting better day by day. This report Mr. Harriet did give to Mrs. Pumphrey, but he just tried to ignore the questions of whether the right kind of coat the dog was wearing or no, or whether his cushions were being turned or no. The word convulsing seemed to do something to Mrs. Pumphrey. She started to bring round fresh eggs, 2 dozens at a time, to build up Tricky's strength. She started bringing not 1, not 2, but 2 dozen eggs. Fine? For a happy period, my partners and I had 2 eggs each for breakfast. They did not serve them, give them to Tricky, but they had it. He and his assistants had it for breakfast. But when the bottles of wine began to arrive, the real possibilities of the situation began to dawn on the household. It was to enrich Tricky's blood. Lunch became a ceremonial occasion with 2 glasses of wine before and several during the meal, because all the wine which Mrs. Pumphrey was bringing in or sending for Tricky, it was being consumed by Mr. Harriet and his assistants. We could hardly believe it when the brandy came to put a final edge on Tricky's constitution. For a few nights, the fine spirit was rolled around, inhaled, and reverently drunk. The fine spirit refers to brandy. Fine? They were days of deep content, starting well with the extra egg in the morning, improved and sustained by the midday wine. This word is not clear in my book actually. Luxuriously around the fire with the brandy. So they were having a very satisfying and contented time. Why? Because they were having a luxurious meal all the 3-4 times in a day. They were consuming wine, they were consuming brandy, they were having eggs. It was a temptation to keep Tricky on as a permanent guest, because when they will keep Tricky as a guest, so all these luxuries they will be able to enjoy forever. But I knew Mrs. Pumphrey was suffering because she was missing Tricky, and after a fortnight felt compelled to phone and tell her that the little dog had recovered and was awaiting collection. He called her up and told her that the dog can be taken back home. Within minutes, about 30 feet of gleaming black metal drew up outside the surgery. Within minutes, about 30 feet of gleaming black metal. What is it? It is her car. The chauffeur opened the door and I could just make out the figure of Mrs. Pumphrey, almost lost in the interior. Her hands were tightly clasped in front of her. Her lips trembled. "Oh, Mr. Harriet, do tell me the truth. Is he really better?" "Yes, he's fine. There's no need for you to get out of the car. I'll go and fetch him." I walked through the house into the garden. A mass of dogs was hurtling round and round the lawn, and in their midst, ears flapping, tail waving, was the little golden figure of Tricky. In 2 weeks, he had been transformed into a lithe, hard-muscled animal. He was keeping up well with the pack, with the group of dogs, stretching out in great bounds, his chest almost brushing the ground. I carried him back along the passage to the front of the house. The chauffeur was still holding the car door open, and when Tricky saw his mistress, he took off from my arms in a tremendous leap and sailed into Mrs. Pumphrey's lap. So, just as Mrs. Pumphrey was missing Tricky, Tricky was also missing Mrs. Pumphrey. The moment he saw her, he just, jumped onto the lap of Mrs. Pumphrey. She gave a startled ooh and then had to defend herself as he swarmed over her, licking her face and barking. This is the way usually dogs show their affection, by licking and barking. During the excitement, I helped the chauffeur to bring out the beds, toys, cushions, coats, and bowls, none of which had been used during this period of 15 days. As the car moved away, Mrs. Pumphrey leaned out of the window. Tears shone in her eyes. Her lips trembled. "Oh, Mr. Harriet," she cried, "how can I ever thank you? This is a triumph of surgery. This is a triumph of the dog stay at the clinic, and this is how, by staying away from her, her dog has been able to recover and be its normal self, because the dog was away from the excessive love, over pampering, over feeding by Mrs. Pumphrey."